Starting with last night,
Yep.
what'd you take away from Nate's performance?
I thought it was good. You know, kind of what you'd expect of a young quarterback. There was definitely some ups and some downs. Great experience for Nate to get out there and really start the game with the ones and then ease into it with the twos as well. Playing against both their ones and their twos was really good experience for him. And you know, every rep Nate takes, he just gets better and better. He learns more and more, and he's able to take what he learns and what he goes through and experiences and apply that to future reps and future practices. So a lot to learn from.
The first touchdown to Goddard seemed like he read the blitz nicely, maneuvered nicely in the pocket. Were you encouraged by what you see from him?
Very encouraged. He did a really good job moving around the pocket last night. Got himself out of trouble a handful of times, and then to make a throw on the move to Dallas and to kind of identify he's open, start the scramble drill, and then make a nice throw to him. I thought that was really encouraging to see from Nate.
Nate was kind of beating himself up on that first interception. Looked like the corner kind of came off.
Right.
His responsibility. What can he do differently there? What did he do wrong?
Well, I think he did a good job of having pre-snap identification. He kind of anticipated a coverage. He just didn't really go through his process of confirming the coverage post-snap, and so kind of got a little fooled from it. And then obviously was very frustrated, threw to his own corner, thought was playing man technique, but did a good job bouncing back after that. He came to the sidelines, immediately knew what went wrong, communicated with myself, Coach Groh, Carson, and Nick, and really identified it, and I thought he bounced back great, handled it really well. That's good to see a young guy make a mistake and then move on quickly, and I don't think it affected the rest of his performance, so that was good to see.
The other pick looked like the receiver just turned the wrong way.
It was just something of working through those reps. I'm not sure how many reps maybe Bryce and Nate have gotten together. Just a little bit off on it. It's just typical between the two guys that probably haven't gotten a ton of reps together, so something we can get cleaned up going forward.
Nice touch on the touchdown pass to Gibson.
He did. He threw a great ball. He did a good job kind of identifying the coverage and worked his way through that. Did a great job holding the safety in the middle of the field and threw a great ball to Gibby. And Gibby ran a great route, got a good release and finished the play. It was nice.
What was the rest of his part like as far as recognizing, checking out of it? Let's pick up. Well, there wasn't much there.
Right. He did a good job. Like I said, he got himself out of two issues we had protection-wise. Did a good job in the run game. We had a couple kills on some runs. He identified those pretty well, did a good job. I thought when he threw it accurately. Obviously we got to secure the ball better than we did. We had the two turnovers and then on his part, and then we also had a fumble that luckily went out of bounds. But obviously, number one, protect the football. But in terms of seeing things, I thought he saw things well and played quickly and threw the ball accurately. So it was good to see.
It's 3 weeks and 6 days now until week 1. How do you navigate these next few weeks with Carson, with Nick, in terms of preparing them to start?
The good thing is we have practice tomorrow. We're back at it. So our number one focus is just getting better every single day. So we're going to focus on that, and that sounds short, but really that's a long ways away in terms of what we got ahead of us. So we're working on having a great day tomorrow at practice and getting better from this film and moving forward.
But then following up on that, Carson's obviously limited in practice. So that's where you come in. I mean, what do you need to do behind the scenes to prepare him in case he is that week on starter?
He does a great job of mentally staying involved in everything. In practice, he's right there. He's communicating with receivers, communicating with myself, Coach Groh, Coach Peterson. In film, he chimes in quite a bit. He's got a lot of opinions and lets those be known and a lot of ideas. So I think he's locked in, and it's exciting to see, and it's just going to continue going forward. That's really helping him stay involved. And then the communication aspect in the film room and then practice has been great with him.
How's he been dealing with it? Because in his comments to us, he's honest, he's competitive, he's frustrated, he wants to be out there. How's he dealing with that behind the scenes?
He's done a great job. Obviously he's an ultra competitive guy. You guys know that just from talking to him and the way he plays. He wants to take every single rep. And right now we're kind of focused on just protecting him, taking care of him. And he understands what's going on. It really, we've had a conversation, just he continues to get 7-on-7 moving forward, and for him it's a great process of just having the mental toughness and the discipline to treat 7-on-7 every single rep as the most important rep of the day, and he's really dialed in there. He's done a great job of keeping his rhythm, his timing, going through progressions, throwing the ball with accuracy, and he's approached that. It's been really fun to see him approach the few reps he's gotten in that each day.
If I could ask you, like, what your impressions have been of Coach Joe Callahan since he's been here, or, you know, what you saw last night and everything.
Joe's a fun guy to be around. You know, he takes his job very seriously. He can throw the ball really well. He's very athletic. You saw him get himself out of some trouble a little bit last night and get out on the move and get out of the pocket. He can extend plays really well. And he's got a strong arm to push the ball outside the numbers. I thought he made some good throws, kind of that 2-minute drive there at the end of the game, really pushing the ball down the field, making some throws that look nice.
Do you see his style as being different from, like, the other three guys, you know, with Carson, Nick, and Nate?
He is a little different. You know, he has a different skill set than those guys. He's a really athletic kid. Has a little bit of gunslinger mentality. He'll push the ball down the field pretty good, and he's got the arm to do it. I think the biggest difference with him is the skill set. Those guys are all 6'5", and Joe's 6 foot, so they see the game a little differently from inside the pocket. And Joe makes up for that lack of height with his ability to scramble and extend plays, I think.
With Carson, the couple days they did do the 11-on-11 drills. What did you see from him?
It was very encouraging. You know, there's no hesitation in the way he was playing then, and that was really encouraging for us. And Coach felt like he saw everything he needed to see, but Carson handles everything great. There's a great energy when Carson's in the huddle. Guys really respond to him well. He sees things really well and communicates at the line of scrimmage really well with those guys. So it was encouraging to see.
His rookie season, he only played in that first preseason game,
right,
suffered the rib injury, and still was able to play at week 1.
Right.
What did you learn about him from that time that maybe can be applied to now?
Well, I think the number one thing is his toughness. Mentally and physically, he's a very tough kid. He'll play through whatever he can play through. And part of that, you know, we protect him from himself, because even that rookie year you talked about, his scrambling, you know, he didn't always protect himself out on the move. So we're just communicating with him and learning how to protect himself and just kind of extend his game. Has been a fun process, but that's something he's learned and improved upon going forward, I think.
What have you thought of Nick's performance so far in training camp?
I thought Nick's done a great job. Nick looks like a guy that's very in control out there. He knows what's going on. He sees things really well, communicates well, does a great job of just putting the ball in play. You know, he's a high completion percentage guy. He just does a good job of identifying things, taking completions, and moving on in the down, which is good to see. He does a great job moving our offense down the field.
His mental approach last year, being the backup who was always ready to be called upon, obviously helped you guys last season.
Yeah.
Have you seen that same mental approach this season as he's come in, knowing that Carson's working his way to eventually get back to be the starter?
Absolutely. Nick has prepared every single day like he was going to be the starter. So it was no surprise to us when he became the starter that he was ready. He was mentally locked in, physically ready to go. He does a great job preparing throughout the game plan, and then just watching film himself and just always staying locked in terms of communication. He's a great sounding board for Carson. They both really did a good job of bringing Nate along last year. Obviously, he didn't go through off-season or preseason with us last year, so he was kind of thrown into the offense as we were rolling around regular season. They did a great job bringing him along, kind of teaching him the intricacies of our offense, which was good to see and encouraging out of those guys.
Is rust, lack of rhythm, how, I don't know what term you want to use, but is that a concern for Carson right now, not getting those 11-on-11 snaps?
Maybe in terms of 11-on-11, the timing's a little bit differently, but that's where 7-on-7 has been huge. The routes on air periods we do with our receivers, really keeping that timing chemistry. He's done a great job with that. Our receivers do a great job with that. So that's not something we're worried about right now. They're doing a good job of continuing to work together and doing a good job moving forward with that.
From a macro perspective, at the most recent practice, Tuesday's practice, you were down top 2 quarterbacks or top 3 receivers. I know that's relatively common for August.
Right.
But how do you navigate that? How do you compensate for the lack of time for each other?
You know, anybody that's out there at practice, we're really working on having that timing together and just working through the details of our offensive scheme. You know, there's a science to football. There's splits, there's spacing, there's timing that we continue to work on and improve on our offense. And the guys that are out there do a great job of that. The guys that aren't out there do a great job of understanding what we're trying to accomplish. And I think, too, it gives them it's a good ability to step back and see the big picture of things. And I think the guys that we have, at least, do a great job of doing that and really getting mental reps when they're not out there physically.
For someone that's been around Nick and got to know him a little bit,
yes, sir.
kind of low-key personality. What was it like to watch him, kind of like his star rise, be the center stage at the ESPYs or on talk shows?
Right. It's a lot of fun, and that's the Nick we see in the meeting room every day is just happy-go-lucky, same guy every single day. To see him get the publicity and the credit he deserves has been fun for us because we know how special a guy Nick is, and then to see him handle it with such grace has just been a huge example for a lot of the guys on the team, I think. So it's been good.
Has he changed in any way?
He hasn't changed in any way. None at all. No, he's Super Bowl MVP to backup quarterback to whoever he is. We get to see Nick be a dad a lot of times. We've all got the chance to be around his wife and his daughter. And he's the same guy every single day in every single situation he's in. So it's fun to see.
He dresses better than he did back in 2015.
I think that's his wife. I think a lot of us that are married, we can credit our wives with that. So. Yeah.
How do you make sense of his career? He's had a kind of crazy career.
Yeah, I think everything that Nick's gone through in his career before this moment, before obviously becoming Super Bowl MVP, led to him being able to handle all that. He came through with he has a great self-awareness. He's been through the highs and the lows. Obviously an incredibly humble guy. And I think all that has kind of gelled together to help Nick to be able to handle the situation, whether that, again, is being a backup quarterback, to being a Super Bowl MVP, to being a starter. All that has kind of led to him being able to handle everything that's come his way, and he's handled it great. And again, it's fun to see.
Do you think that those experiences plus maybe the wind that can come in your sails from being the Super Bowl MVP can project him in a positive way to being a strong starting quarterback?
Absolutely. He's obviously had success as a starter in the league, and then came in last year in a backup role and had a lot of success. So I think he's going to instant credibility anytime Nick Foles walks into the locker room, walks into the huddle, because of the things he's done in his past. Recent success obviously helps with him. So yeah, absolutely. Nick has a lot of credibility anywhere he goes.
How was he about his highs and lows? You said he was a starter, a backup.
Sure.
Didn't play well at the end of last season, the regular season before the playoffs. What do you think is about kind of his DNA that the highs don't get too high and the lows don't get too lows?
I don't know. People like that are just so even keeled like Nick is. All the highs and the lows kind of just mellow a guy like that out. He's seen it. He's seen when it's gone well. He's seen when it's gone not so well. He's had people talk good about him, bad about him, all that. And so all that, he's always been an even keel guy, but I think that helps him to really stay grounded and stay in the moment and not worry about outside influences. Nick comes to work every single day as the same guy, prepares the same way, whether he's a starter, backup, wherever he is on the depth chart, whether he's getting reps or not that day. He prepares the same every single day. And I wish I knew his whole background of how he grew up, but his parents did a great job with him, is all I can say, I guess.
How's the chemistry with you and Mike working together with Doug? You got to have that first bit of game action last night.
Right, and that was good. It was good to just go through the process of everybody. Everybody's in a little bit different chair on game day, so roles are changed a little bit, and working through that, it was good. It was a good trial run, I guess you could say, for us in the press box and down on the field, the communication, how that was going to work, and excited to still have 3 more preseason games to iron things out and really see how we can maximize our communication throughout game day.
And so to follow up on that, how is game day different in terms of the logistics, in terms of the communication? What's it like for you relative to what it's been like in the past?
Well, pregame obviously was a little hard because we couldn't exactly remember how many reps we gave in preseason to when we took team reps. So we were working through that. We were all kind of talking. Everybody, Mike and I obviously spent more time with the receivers last year, so talking to Carson and Nick about how their pregame went, and it's one of the things you don't think much about, and then you get out there and it's kind of like, did we get 6 reps or 5 reps? And working through that was different, but it's good. Like I said, 4 preseason games really helps you, so then you're in a routine by the time that first week comes. But in terms of the communication on the headsets, that was great. And that wasn't much different than it was last year, honestly. Obviously missing Frank and Flip's voices in the headsets, but I think everybody kind of stepped into the role of what coach is looking for communication-wise and did that pretty well.
And so you're in communication in the regular season, I imagine, with Carson working forward with Nick. What's that like for you? And last night with Nate, obviously.
Yeah, it's good. It's different. I obviously didn't have that last year, but I'm sitting up there last year right next to Flip and got to hear the communication they went through, the communication on the headsets. obviously those guys come off, they talk to Coach Groh, they talk to Coach Peterson, so they have multiple sets of eyes on the field. And then the backup quarterbacks do a great job. So they're all communicating with one another, going through pictures. And then if we need to talk on the phone, they do a good job of communicating what they saw, what they're thinking moving forward. And we do a good job, I think, of staying on the same page throughout drives and within series and stuff.